This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, getting you ready for today's sports day.
3 of the first 4 games have been at home, so at some point in time you're going to have to venture outside the 806, so that'll start this week.
While having a little fun along the way.
Always good if you can blame it on somebody else, right?
Yeah, sure.
Especially some media guy.
Sure. Right, some media guy.
Catch the show live weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3.
Trying to help you too. We're trying to help you too. We don't talk a whole lot of golf on this show, but man, when you're ranked number 1 in the country,
that's awesome.
How about that? How about that? Is that just cool for Greg Sands' team or what?
Extremely.
The Red Raider golf team, coming off of a second place finish at Colonial, ranked number 1 in the country in a golf poll. This is in Golf Stats poll that was released on Wednesday. And, of course, the number 1 player in the world amateur rankings, Ludwig Aberg. Aberg, I'm sorry.
I was corrected yesterday.
You weren't? Okay, Ludwig Aberg.
Aberg, okay.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
He's ranked number 1 in the world, not just like country, world. Like go to England. Who's the number 1 golf? That Ludwig guy in Lubbock. You go to Sheboygan. You go to Red China. Wherever you go, I'm the number 1 in the world. Anybody can ranked ahead of me can go, but I'm number 1 in the world
for amateurs.
Yeah. Right? But still, I mean, I'm not even number 1 at home in anything. So, he's number 1 in the world, right?
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, and good for them.
You're number 1 on this show, Chuck.
Yeah, with the one of the fingers, one of the digits. Anyway, I thought that was just really, really cool. So congratulations to the men's golf team. And I know that they would say, hey, we haven't, we're just getting started here. We're just trying to win some matches and put ourselves in the good position to, play for a title, blah, 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 blah. But I think that's all really, really cool. So congrats to them. Mm-hmm. Congrats to them. I saw this kind of gave me pause. The Miami Dolphin captains had a meeting. They were taking the ping-pong table out of their locker room. This is because of their losing streak. Okay? So I guess they wanted to get down to brass tacks. Part of the losing streak has to do with your quarterback getting, knocked into next week. Tua Tagovailoa still has not been removed from concussion protocol, and his coach basically saying even if he was, he wasn't going to play him this week. And you just wonder.
Which is interesting.
It is interesting, right?
Man, that guy does not look like an NFL.
No,
football
he does
coach.
not. No, he does not.
Yeah, that's rather interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play him even if.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in a game previously this year, he's stumbling out there.
Yeah.
But they say he's fine. We're putting him right back in.
They tell me he's fine.
Yeah.
But he's certainly changed his tune, right?
Yeah.
The doctor that said that has been canned, and now you just wonder. I'm certain it's probably in the back of the minds of any Miami Dolphin fan or really any NFL fan when you look at Tua and go, okay, how many more of those can he survive before he's got to hang it up? They seem to be coming. They went boom, boom. And obviously the second one was...
Yeah, when you haven't recovered from the first one,
right.
And you get a second one,
right.
It seems like that really adversely affects you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you kind of wonder, well, when is the next? Does the next one just, okay, you're done. And then, because of that, Teddy Bridgewater was replacing Tua, and like right away in their game last week, he gets up and is just a little wobbly. And I don't even know if wobbly is the right word, but
if he's any wobbly, he probably needs to be out.
Well, and that's what happened is an observer saw him like barely stumble, okay, and I use that lightly, and said, hey, you're out. And so then they had to put Skylar Thompson in, the K-State quarterback, as their starting quarterback. Now they're looking for help.
And he's starting this week too.
Yeah, they're looking for help. But Mike McDaniel is their head coach, and yeah, he looks like a guy that should be.
Looks like an IT guy.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably better said, right? He's Mike from IT. Can you come? Hey man, my internet's not working. Well, good. Call Mike. Right?
Sure.
But yeah, no doubt. Among those that were believing that the locker room game had become a distraction was wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Tyreek and the captains decided that they wanted to take a step forward with all their opponent prep with regard to the team and their preparation with our game plans. This is Coach McDaniel said when discussing the removal of the ping pong table. That to me is leadership. To me, leadership is acting, not talking. That's a bunch of different examples from those guys, and that's why they're captains and why I rely on them, because it's about solving problems, not complaining about them. Okay, well, and I guess if it works, they'll keep the ping pong table out of there, right?
Sure. Sure.
And if we had a ping pong table in this building, first of all, there's not a spot for it, maybe by design. But that would probably become a major distraction.
Well, things would be quieter around here because every one of us thinks that we're really good at ping pong.
Yes, right.
And we could, some people would kind of quiet down about that.
Do you think you're a good ping pong player?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Jeff, do you think you're a good ping pong player?
I think Jeff is one of
I'm
the only,
the only one that doesn't.
Okay. At one point in time.
Do I enjoy playing? Sure. Do I think I could beat anybody in this building?
Nope. At one point in time, I was the world champion of our neighborhood. So
Chuck is definitely one that has said that
I think I could.
Well,
but it's been so long since I played ping pong that I'd probably be embarrassed.
You don't lose ping pong.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Raiders dad says this: Tua to me seems like Zion in basketball. He was a big deal and then has either been injured or really a non-factor since he went pro. Well, the Zion Williamson thing, he seems like a much bigger bust than Tua, considering all the money that the Pelicans have paid him and
yeah, I don't know
how much time he spent out on the bench.
I think the text is absolutely accurate. I don't know that I'm ready to call either one of them a bust yet.
Yeah,
I think they're both talented, but they both have definitely struggled keeping healthy. That's for
no
certain.
doubt. So there you go. I saw one last thing from the NBA. I saw this. I guess it was either late last night or early this morning. It's an old story about Allen Iverson. Apparently, they're playing the Celtics in a playoff series, and the 76ers had lost, and they were going back to Philly, and Iverson wanted to cheer everybody up. So you got one hand leadership taking away the ping pong table, right? Other hand leadership, Iverson's going to buy beer for the troops to fly back to Philadelphia with on the team plane. Okay, so he gives the Celtics ball boy $2,000 to make a beer run. Okay, that's more than a couple of 30 packs. All right, that'd be like couldn't even tell you how much beer that would have bought during Iverson's run.
Days.
This was 2002, so it's probably a pretty substantial amount. So he gives the money to the kid, and on his way back, basically he's running into fans, and they're like taking 30 packs off of this, cart that he's. And then the kid starts giving some to the other, Celtic players and things like that. And so he gets done, and he's got just like a handful of 30 packs left, or whatever, just not much beer because he had gotten back there, and he had 4 cases of beer left, and Iverson said, "That's what my money bought you. That's what $2,000 bought," and. This kid said he didn't know what to say, but Iverson was surprisingly forgiving. The Celtics ball boy was Chris Mannix, who is now a senior writer for Sports Illustrated. I thought that was pretty cool. $2,000 for a beer. I guess he just had. Now here's what I got on me: $2,000. Do you think that'll buy me some beer? Yeah, sure, AI.
It would seem like that would be a gross amount.
Yes.
If you're going to buy $2,000.
Yes.
Remember, there's only, 13 guys, 14 guys on a basketball team, and
Right.
there's others that are part of the traveling party, but
Sure.
still, goodness gracious.
That'd be a lot of beer. I don't know if the plane would be able to hold that much. Anyway.
You're listening to the Morning Drive podcast from Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3, recapping the night that was in the world of sports.
A little bit later on tonight, we'll have the Astros and the Diamondbacks. That'll be at 8. And then the Rangers playing at Seattle tonight.
And also bringing some humor to your day.
Was it pretty big?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Impressive?
Yeah.
Was it fascinating?
It was. I thought it was fascinating. It kind of smelled, but I mean.
Hear the show live weekday mornings at 6 on Double T 97.3 or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.
Today is Thursday, October the 13th, 2022. I present to thee, Jeff McGuire.
See, now I'm nervous because this isn't that good. 1914 Baseball World Series. Boston Braves beat the Philadelphia A's 3-1 at Fenway Park for the first 4-game sweep in World Series history. The Miracle Braves were in last place on July 4th and won the World Series in a sweep.
Wow.
1960, also in the World Series, Pirates second baseman Bill Mazeroski. Bottom of the ninth, leadoff home run beats the Yankees 10-9 at Forbes Field in a series deciding Game 7. Yankees second baseman Bobby Richardson is the MVP.
Okay.
1964, U.S. sweeps the medals in the men's 200 backstroke at the Tokyo Olympics. Jed Graff swims a world record 210.3 to win the gold medal ahead of Gary Dinley and Bob Bennett.
Diddley?
Dilley, D-I-L-L-E-Y.
Okay, I was going to ask him if he knew Bo,
Yeah.
not Jackson.
Or squat.
You don't know Diddley either.
1967, First American Basketball Association, the ABA game, is played with the Oakland Oaks beating the Anaheim Amigos 132-129.
Oh, nice.
Red, white, and blue ball and 3-point field goals were introduced.
Yeah.
They should bring back the red, white, and blue ball once a year in the NBA.
I love my red, white, and blue. You know what? That is a great idea.
As long as it's not the rubber one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't play basketball with those rubber balls.
Yeah.
It's got to be a real ball.
Yeah, we do a real ball, have it official NBA specs, but on the anniversary,
okay
one
that.
anniversary somewhere.
I'd be okay with that for every game. But it would be neat if you did it. If you did it less, if you did it just once like that,
Yeah,
that would be like
that'd
a
be pretty cool.
special thing. That'd be neat. Yeah, or maybe they played the All-Star game with it, or
Something.
something like that, or maybe every Sunday it's like alternate ball.
Well, then there'd be all kinds of discussion about the feel and the grip and the bounce and all that.
As they should.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be the same ball.
Well, no, I know, but there'd be a lot of consternation about that. Hand wringing.
Remember a couple of days ago we were talking about Billy Martin becoming the Twins manager?
Yeah.
Well, he made it a little over a year as he was fired by the Twins today in 1969 after going 97-65 for the AL West winning Twins.
They just couldn't take him. They probably couldn't stand him.
There's probably a lot of reason for that. 1982. The IOC Executive Committee fixes the second biggest mistake that they've ever made. Jim Thorpe's gold medals are returned to him from the 1912 Olympics. Too bad he wasn't around to pick them up. He wasn't a professional baseball player. Anyhow, 1991, Blue Jays manager Cito Gaston is the first manager ejected in a playoff game, as the Minnesota Twins would beat the Toronto Blue Jays in 5 games.
Wow. I'd never really given that any thought. Huh.
And I don't remember Cito being a hothead.
No, I don't either.
He must have been really, like, Bobby Cox would get thrown out of games. I think he's got the all-time record.
I think he
number
does,
of times.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he also coached forever. So that's not, he wasn't like always thrown out, but he was thrown out a bunch. I don't ever remember Cito getting thrown out.
No, he seemed like calm, cool, all those types of things.
He got run from that one.
1996. Major League Baseball American Championship. New York Yankees beat the Baltimore Orioles 4-1.
Is this the Jeffrey
Mayor.
Series?
Why don't you ask the Yankee fan you're sitting next to?
What year was it?
96.
Yeah.
I was expecting Jamie to wax poetically about his 1996 team. I didn't want to step on his thunder.
They won for the first time since 78. It was a long time. That was basically my youth as a Yankees fan. Mediocrity was about as good as they got. They were terrible for years and pretty much the whole decade of the 80s. Kind of like they were like the 20-teens.
Yeah.
Now made the playoffs. I mean, 20-teens, they made the playoffs a bunch, just never.
Did bring home the big trophy.
Yeah, never really got close.
It is National Peanut Festival, Pumpkin Festival, Yorkshire Pudding, and National M&M Day.
Okay, I'm good on the M&Ms.
Yeah, the rest of it, good gracious.
Yeah.
National
I like
Peanut
peanuts.
Festival?
Yeah.
I like peanuts. I like peanuts a lot. I like peanut M&Ms. Way more than the regular M&Ms.
Happy birthday to Kate Walsh, who's 55. Jerry Rice is 60. Paul Simon, 81. Paul Pierce is 45. Marie Osmond, 63. And Nancy Kerrigan, 53 today. And on this day in 2010, you want a smile on your face? I got one for you. The last of the 33 miners trapped nearly half a mile underground for more than 2 months as a caved-in mine in northern Chile are rescued. The miners survived longer than anyone else trapped underground in recorded history.
That's crazy.
And that is this day in sports history.
All right, your chance to win $10,000 from Double T 97.3 right here in Lubbock, Texas, America is yours right now. All you have to do is take the secret word I'm about to give you, okay? Go to doublet973.com and enter it in, and Double T 97.3 in the home zone where they make your house a home could give you $10,000. Somebody will win it. We'll do the secret word every day at this time, 8:45, and during Tech Talk at 4:45 in the afternoon. We'll give it away on November the 18th. Obviously, the more times that you enter, the more of a chance you have to win. So pay attention. The secret word today, Jaguars, as in Jacksonville, Jaguars. Jaguars, Jaguars. Some people pronounce this word Jaguar.
They would be the ones that are talking about the car.
Right. Jaguar. Yeah. Right. I always thought that was a Jaguar, but you hear the commercial, you'll hear the kind of the very distinguished European voice. Jaguar, essential car for today's,
Hoity-toity boy.
I didn't know that they were both not pronounced the same.
No.
Why would they be pronounced differently when
I don't know.
one's named after
Because one is a $100,000 car. Or a $250,000 car, and one of them is a very large cat.
Yeah, Jaguar.
Yeah, but isn't it named after the cat?
You would think so, yes.
Yeah, you would think
Since
so.
they have a cat
but
on the hood.
Right, no,
hood emblem there.
Yeah, right. No, well, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm going to name my car after Chuck. I'm going to call it the Chewyak.
$200,000.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Chuck. It could be Jaime. Yours could be Jaime.
That makes no sense.
I know. But anyway, Jaguar.
No, not what you were saying. I mean, the
Right.
Jaguar thing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Jaguar.
That's why I just call them Jags. It's easier.
The Jaguar.
I will never call it a Jaguar.
The essential.
That's a good-looking
Quiet.
Jaguar you
Yeah,
have there.
right,
And people
right.
would look at me like I was the biggest buffoon ever.
Except
Stop trying to sound like you're something you're not.
if unless you're talking to a fellow Jaguar car owner. That's a pretty fine looking Jaguar that you've got there.
I would not say that because, again, that's not how real people talk.
Right.
And again, I would be trying to be something I wasn't.
No.
Yeah. And in case you didn't notice that about me, I don't really do that.
No, I've noticed that. 6:54 this morning here on the morning drive. Robert writes in 77 and 78 when I became a Yankee fan. That was the Bronx Zoo teams. Yeah, those are very good teams to follow. They won the World Series those 2 years. And Reggie, it stirred the drink, and all the other guys. I mean, those are really, really good Yankee teams. They probably, I don't know if they should have won more or not. I mean, they were there in 76, 77, 78. 80, they won a division title. 81, and then the dark years came after that. Your youth.
Yep.
Yeah, your youth.
When I was old enough to pay it. I mean, I was 4 in 78, so it wasn't like I was like a diehard fan. And
Risa says this: I can't believe it's about to be a year since I met JL in person.
Oh wow!
And she hugged me in May.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you get a hug, Jamie?
I don't remember.
Jamie's not a hugger.
I am not.
He's not a hugger.
I'm not really a toucher.
Toucher.
I'm a space guy.
Space guy. Not that kind of space, like a physical space.
Yes.
Your morning blend of sports,
K-State is coming off a big win over Oklahoma. Of course, the Red Raiders off their 37-34 overtime win over number 22 Texas.
and humor.
Sure to tell them that. You suggested that. And, of course, that got a big laugh.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live weekdays from 6 to 9 on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.
It's nice to have you with us this morning. With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank Double T 97.3 studio. Benchmark Hotline is open. Yates Flooring Center chat line is open. So if you have something on your mind that you want to share, if you've had big week or sucky week or looking forward to your bye weekend, you got big doings, get up in it and share with us here this morning on the Morning Drive. Jamie and Jeff brought this to my attention, and I want to have a little bit of a discussion on. We'll get to some Red Raider football. I've got some remarks from Coach Joey McGuire that I want to get to as well. John Rothstein is reporting that the Big 12 in the 2023-24 and 2024-25 season, this is when the Big 12 is going to expand to 14 teams, as we know it now, with Oklahoma and Texas not leaving until after the 24-25 academic year, that the Big 12...
So basically next basketball season, right?
Well, you'll have next year and the year following. You have 2 more years.
Yeah, but I mean, it starts with next year's basketball
this
season.
starts with next basketball season.
That's the point I was trying to make. Not this year,
not
but next year.
Next year, right. That the following league games will be done twice, home and home. So, you'll play this team and another team, and you'll do home and home. Otherwise, everything else will be, I guess, in some other type of format. Either you'll play them at home or away. But KU and K-State will play twice. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State will be playing twice. Texas Tech and Texas will play twice. Baylor and TCU twice. Cincinnati and West Virginia twice. Houston and UCF twice. And Iowa State and BYU twice. How do you feel about that?
So you're going to play 18 games, and then you're going to play that team twice? I don't know exactly how that works. What do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does on surface, but from a competitive standpoint, it's not the same.
You're right. That's not 100% accurate. It's not.
It's unbalanced. When you look at that. So,
but is slightly unbalanced as well, because you're even if you just played each team one time. Mm-hmm. And you have to play. Somebody could say, "Well, we have all the tough teams on the road, or you got the tough teams at home." Mm-hmm. Blah blah blah. You could say that. It makes it a little bit unbalanced. But your point is absolutely accurate. I mean, it is. I just don't know what else you do. And I'm begging, please, for the love of God, no more horribly boring non-conference games with teams we've never heard of.
Let me ask you that. Would it be too much to ask?
So I'd rather play
both teams.
Yeah, I'd rather play other Big 12 teams a second time.
Yeah, especially those 2 years.
Would you be in favor of the Big 12 playing a non-conference Big 12 team? like Tech playing TCU in a non-conference game that doesn't count for the conference. Like, you see tennis do this a bunch. You'll see
Tech
some of the
Tech and Oklahoma have done this in baseball, right?
Yeah.
You see baseball do it, yeah.
But do that for men's basketball because that's only 14 conference games. Where right now you're getting 18 with a double round robin.
Well, I guess I look at it. This way. I'm with Jamie. I'd rather soon you play everybody twice, and that'd be 26 games, 26 year 32 games.
I don't think you're going to do that.
No, I don't either. I mean, because basically then what you have is you probably reduce the number of teams you get in the NCAA tournament because you're just beating each other up. But
I mean, I don't know. For 2 years, I'm fine with just play the 4 or 5 closest teams to you twice.
So in Tech's case, that could be
Texas and Baylor and TCU and
okay,
Houston, whatever.
Okay, yeah. Because I mean, I have no idea what the level of play that UCF is, but Houston is a far better team than UCF. I mean, far better, not even close.
You're right. I mean,
same thing with Iowa State and BYU.
What I've just brought up is a tougher schedule for the Red Raiders.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about playing Baylor, Texas, and Houston. Those are all good basketball programs.
Yeah,
Kansas is significantly better than Kansas State right now.
Oh, well, and they've owned them for the last 40 years. I mean, so it's not like. I mean, there have been a handful of times that K-State's won.
I mean, almost
at home, but not at Allen.
In almost all of these matchups, one of the two teams has been significantly better than the other. Mm-hmm. But if I was to pick one team out of this list that I would want to play twice, it would be Texas.
I think our fan base would want that.
Yeah, our fan base would want that. Yeah. I mean, I love it from
I look at those
what college basketball is supposed to be. I love that.
When you look at the I have no issue with any of those matchups being the one. If there's one that's repeated. Kansas State makes perfect sense. Oklahoma State makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. Baylor, TCU to me.
The two at the bottom, Houston, UCF, Iowa State, BYU, they don't make perfect sense.
No.
Iowa State, BYU is for where they're at.
Well, yeah,
geographically.
And if West Virginia is going to be with Cincinnati, then Iowa State can't be with one of them, and so they got to be with somebody. Yeah, I get it. Man, I'm passionate about beating Baylor and TCU and Texas and Houston, and so as a fan, I'm like, bring those games on. But I totally get, and I think you've made a good point, and I agree that competitively it's not the same. Yeah. It's not gonna be. But that's the way it was in Big 12 football for all those years.
With the North and the South.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
no doubt.
You might have a schedule in the South compared to Texas that was different than theirs, and so you had it tougher than they did. So when they were trying to get to the conference championship game, might have been easier for them. I'm just using them as examples. I don't have a specific.
Right.
Okay. So it would have been easier for them to get to the conference championship game than you. That's kind of the way it is. And I'm fine. I'm fine with that for 2 years now. It is interesting. We've seen so many things thrown out there about divisions in the conference and what they're going to do, and are they going to go to divisions and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, that seems like they're saying we're not going to go to divisions. We're just going to figure this out scheduling wise.
First, yeah.
But maybe that changes when Texas and Oklahoma leave.
And let me ask you this, with regard to basketball, because there's no, quote, conference championship game, there's a conference tournament. Do you need to have divisions in basketball?
Maybe not.
Or you just go, hey, the schedule is going to rotate through. In other words, some years you're going to have this team at home and some years you're going to have this team on the road. I don't think I would be in favor of just kind of moving forward. I don't think I would, without just really thinking about it, of like playing Baylor twice, TCU twice, Houston twice, because I don't think that's the same as KU playing Iowa State twice, K-State twice, and let's just say Oklahoma twice because of proximity.
We're talking in basketball?
Yeah, in basketball. I think just
it's not the same, but at the same time, I mean, Iowa State's been great at home.
They have.
Okay.
They have.
I mean, Kansas State's been a really hard place for the Red Raiders to go in.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
I'm not acting. I'm not going to try to sit here today and as a Red Raider fan and going to poo-poo what those basketball programs are.
No, I'm just saying I don't know.
They've been really tough for us to win at.
I just don't know on surface
Kansas
if I would say you'd always play these teams twice and these teams once. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know that I would say that on the surface of being in that always.
So rotated around every year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Rotated around. So you're playing, and it's never going to be quote balanced or fair with as long as you've got this number of teams. Now, maybe when the other two teams drop out, Oklahoma and Texas, maybe you go back to playing each team twice. I hope so, but I think that by that point in time, you'll have 2 or 4 more teams in your conference, and you won't be able to do that. And maybe you will have divisions at that point in time.
Getting your sports day started the right way. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, breaking down the biggest games.
If Texas Tech does not win the Big 12 football conference, who are you rooting for to win the conference if Tech does not win it this year?
Well, busting some chops along the way.
I hold back on sending you stuff. I mean, I'm very, very, very judicious.
We spend 3 hours a day, 5 days a week together. Why would we need to communicate during the weekend? Save it for the show.
We do. We save it for the show.
Tune into the Morning Drive live weekdays from 6 to 9 on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is presented by Bizarre Solutions. Call them today for a free cybersecurity audit.
Just absolute sage advice from Guns Up Girl in Georgia. We may have to add her to our advisory council, along with Grammar Girl and Washed Up Guy. Washed Up Guy is our senior advisor, but I think on the advisory council now goes Grammar Girl and Guns Up Girl. With regard to Brett Yormark, she says this: just think, on your mark, get set, go. I will tell you this. That will sit with me, and there'll be a point in time where I'll meet him, and I'll say, you know what, I was struggling with your name on the air one day. And
Don't share that story.
And we had
and if you do, make sure you're not wearing a Double T logo.
Somebody said, on your mark, get set, go. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes. Make sure you tell them you're a Kansas grad, okay? And you have no affiliation with this radio station or this school here in town.
I agree. That is very clever.
Okay.
And I wasn't struggling with it, but that is very good to help you remember.
I think that's genius right
on
there.
On your mark, get set, go.
Did you know, and I saw this on Twitter a few minutes ago, actually, did you know that you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind?
Yeah.
Did you know that? So when you meet him and you're like, okay, I got to remember on your mark. Okay, you can talk to him about like normal things that normal people talk about, and you don't have to mention that. Like, you don't have to. There's not a rule that says I have to tell him how I remembered his name.
My mother has often told me, think before you speak. But I'm just now getting to the point where I'm just, the other piece of advice.
But the second part is that you don't have to tell people what you're thinking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's probably.
You don't have to tell people, except on the show, what every one of your opinions are.
Okay.
Okay. So this is for the world, right? You don't have to run to social media when you have an opinion about something. You don't.
Sure.
You really do not have to.
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Save it for the show.
Yeah.
But when you're talking to somebody, don't have diarrhea of the mouth and just start throwing things out in your head. Like,
I know me, and I'm pretty certain.
That's why we're trying to help.
Because then right afterwards, you could have this really good question for him. He's not going to remember it. He's going to be like,
this jackwagon over here
guy's a whack job.
He's like, you know what he'll say to me? He's like, God, he goes, everybody since I was like 6 years old has said, on your mark, get set, go. And then he'll ask me, hey, does anybody ever say, up Chuck to you when you're playing basketball? Yeah.
He's not going to say that. He's going to internally roll his eyes.
Internally,
because he's polite. Yeah. And he's going to think, oh, man, people at Texas Tech, some weird people there in Lubbock.
I just met the president of one of them. All right, your question, sir. Is it while you're sitting there? You ask that internally to yourself. Why do I come here every morning and subject myself to that? Is your wife, when you get home, hey, how was work today? And you say something, and you're like, why do you subject yourself to that? Dad, why do you do that?
No, not at all. Everybody knows I have fun. Everybody knows it's a good time for me.
We're all believing that.
Okay. I was being honest.
Yeah.
I'm always tell the truth. So it's good that the Big 12 conferences, kind of got together and had some Big 12 basketball stuff this week. Perfect timing.
Sure.
For the Red Raiders on the bye weeks. So I was going to flip over to Red Raider basketball, which I'm going to do.
Okay.
My first question that I thought I was going to ask today was, which non-conference game are you most excited about? I don't think that anybody would choose anything but Arkansas or Louisville in the Hawaii, right?
Okay. Guess what? I'm gonna pick another game.
Are you gonna pick Georgetown?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I mean, because that's the game I'm gonna get to see at home.
Okay. You should punish Georgetown.
Oh, I know that.
Punish Georgetown.
I know that.
Yeah. And he's not just saying that as a Syracuse fan.
Yeah, and LSU is also a non-conference game, and that one
is in Baton Rouge,
and they're not any good either, right? So it just feels like it's all right. I think that's fair. I'm anxious to see. I don't know why, but it's like the thought of Patrick Ewing coaching on our sideline is cool to me.
Yes, okay? I'm right there with you.
And I'm not a Patrick Ewing fan. It's just he's a big name dude, and we saw him star for the Knicks and be larger than life for Georgetown, and I don't know, that's just cool to me.
Yes.
So I guess there's that part of it. Yeah. But I think the most competitive, entertaining game is going to be Arkansas or Louisville, right? In the Maui Jim Invitational.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't my question.
Oh, okay.
We got a bonus question. and I feel like you're not the person to ask this one. I should stay. I know you're not the person to ask this one.
Okay.
But I'm asking it anyways.
All right.
Okay, because I want Jeff and the audience can answer this one. Mm-hmm. Okay, we knew what the answer was last year. What game do you want more than any other? And it was to beat Chris Beard at home. Not beat Texas at home, beat Chris Beard at home.
Yep.
Okay?
Why am I not the person?
So what game do you want more than any this year? Do you want to beat Chris Beard or do you want to beat Kevin McCullough? Which one is more important to you this year?
Kevin McCullough. Kansas. 100%. We got the double victory last year over Texas. Still don't like them. They can still go suck all the eggs. But it's time to turn that hatred just a little further north and get it back to where it normally belongs this time of year.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm 100% with like everything, especially the egg sucking part that Jeff said.
Yeah.
You sweeping Beard in the first year he was in Austin, to me it's like ender. No matter what happens after that, it doesn't. He left us and we swept him. Okay? To me, he could sweep us for 3 straight years, and it wouldn't. I wouldn't like it, but it doesn't equal us sweeping him in the first year he went there.
Right.
Okay? I would love to sweep Kevin McCullough this year. Would love to. And so
let me ask you this.
The game in Lubbock against Kansas would be the most important game by far to me this year. Just like the game in Lubbock against Texas and Beard was last year.
Let me ask you this. Because I do not think that McCullough will be a significant player for KU this year. But it doesn't matter, right? And when I say significant, I don't think he will see significant playing time.
Apparently the Big 12 coaches disagree with you.
Okay.
Well, you just saw yesterday he was named honorable mention all Big 12, right?
Yeah.
And so you're kind of out on a limb there on your own.
Yeah. You know what I would if you
and your reason for that is what?
I don't think he fits their style of play. I don't. Defensively, maybe, but they've not necessarily been known for their defense except for once you get to the tournament. I mean, they've been more offensive-minded, more three-point minded. It's feast or famine from the outside, it seems like to me, just over the years. And I don't see him making a significant contribution where they're going to rely on him to win games. I just don't see it. I may be dead wrong. You know what? If you could give me one wish right now, and I'm being completely serious, with regard to conference realignment, I wish KU would leave the Big 12 and go to the Big 10. Because I hate that people hate where I went to school, and I understand it. I do understand it. I mean, they've done a lot of things to themselves to deserve that. I hate it. And so, frankly, I'm glad I'm going to be out of town when they come to town, because the Lady Raiders are going to be in Lawrence that night because they play KU the next night there. So there's a good chance I won't even be here to see it. And then there's a part of me that's really happy about that.
Your morning dose of coffee and sports. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live weekdays from 6 to 9 on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.
Thanks for being with us. Thanks for your participation today on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Benchmark Hotline is open, too, if you'd like to voice it.
It's been a fun show.
Yeah. We come to you from the First United Bank Double T 97.3 studios. All right, some things from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Jeff, this is from Clay, who I consider Clay a friend. I mean, I don't know Clay, I don't think, but, based on things that he has texted to us, you should play It's Hard to Be Humble for Chuck. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble.
When you're perfect in every way.
Yeah. I don't hate KU, I hate the KU fans. And I responded, that's very fair. Plenty of similarities to UT fans. There's plenty of T-shirt fans that support that university. Please save Chuck saying there's probably a little freak in everyone. I think that has been archived. Okay? There's probably a little freak in everybody. Yeah. Love how it was private talks with friends and it's in the news in Lubbock.
Yeah. Well, I guess those friends decided to make it unprivate. I just think that's the NFL is such a monster. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't think this would hurt the NFL. I mean, it would give it a black eye or whatever, but I think NFL fans would be entertained by all of it. I really do. Because I don't think most NFL fans like Roger Goodell.
No, I think, but here's the thing though. There were a lot of NFL fans that didn't necessarily like Paul Tagliabue either. He wasn't as much of he wasn't as polarizing as Roger Goodell. And what made Roger Goodell polarizing was the whole Ray Rice incident. He seems to have come. I mean, and just in terms of public perception, he seems to have come out for the worse, although for Ray Rice, it ended his football career and ended his big paydays. But Goodell, and, Goodell knows that comes with a job, but sometimes just the constant booing at the NFL draft is like, okay, I'm way over that. I'm way over that. Let's see, with regard to Kevin McCullough, he's such a mystery. Unfortunately for him, we will be very good without him. He will miss us. I do think he will miss us.
What will he miss?
Well, first of all, what he'll miss is he won't have a place to come back to when he's 40 years old and be introduced at a halftime.
Okay.
He won't be remembered as a great Red Raider. He'll be remembered as a guy that upped and left. He will have to do something extraordinarily significant at KU to ever go down as a Jayhawk, and that would have to be hitting a shot to win a national championship.
I can buy in. I can buy into all that, but as far as what they have there, their fan base, their support, all the above, I think I think he'll find the same thing there that he found here.
True, but I mean it's I don't know. Now,
But I think the stuff you talked about is 100% accurate.
I think there is something, I don't care how big you were at your school, I think there is something to going back to your school, and whether you take your kids or your grandkids and say, hey, that's the dorm I lived in, or, that's the joint we went to, or I had class there, or, I walked these halls. I think all that's very significant. And I think it's short-sighted of these players that there'll be a day where they'll have regrets, where they'll go, and I regret not finishing here. Insert the school, because the Kevin McCullough's not the only one. The landscape is now littered with them. You're like, where is your school? Where's your home base? Where is your legacy? All those kinds of things.
Yeah, and I think you and I
maybe it means more to us than others. I don't know.
Yeah, you and I, or the typical fan probably thinks that way. Maybe the typical player doesn't as much. And I think that's what you find out.
Maybe
not. I'm sure it does to some. I'm not saying that all don't, but I'm sure it does to some. But
here's a question for you, and I think I know the answer to this. You may know it as well. Hey, Jamie, can we purchase our renewal tickets for 2023 Texas Tech baseball? Do you know if the renewals have gone out?
I have not received anything yet.
The only reason I say this, I was with a guy yesterday who told me that he had bought his. So I don't know if it went out to some and not others. Or if they're in the process. Usually that's a kind of a general email.
I don't remember getting it.
Check your junk email.
Could it have come
to the missus
on the weekend?
Over the weekend when we didn't get any of our emails.
Yeah, you may check that out.
Yeah, maybe so.
Somebody says this, I just hate in-conference transfers. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, man,
I agree with that. And you've got one on your roster here, so I mean it's hard to just point fingers at everybody else because we've done it too. So
I think the thing that we all agree on, if there's going to be in-conference transfers, you have to sit a year, but you don't lose the year of eligibility. You can't play for a year.
Yeah, but they've already had that lawsuit.
Right. You don't lose your... No, again, you have to sit for the year, but you don't lose the eligibility. You can play for... If you've got 3 years left when you transfer in conference, you sit for a year, you still have 3 years left.
Yeah.
That feels like a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody else, you can play right away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I have not received mine, or don't believe I have, unless they changed up the email or it went to junk folder. Okay. That's an old school mentality. These young kids now don't look that deep into things. Heck, they decommit after committing to schools. This, of course, Chuck is running elbows with the elite. I mean, that's what you expect, right? I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you're elite, so why would we not? I mean, it's really that the elite are rubbing elbows with Chuck.
Yeah.
We don't say Chuck's rubbing elbows with the elite.
Somebody says this, Chuck, you wear red and black. Where and what is your legacy? Hey, look, I went to KU. I, out of respect to everybody here, and I don't wear my KU colors here in town. I just don't. I stopped doing that a long time ago, and there's been plenty of times in Kansas City where I've worn red and black and worn my Tech colors. So I guess I'm mixed on this, but if you ask me where I went to school and what my legacy is, yeah, it's at KU, but I've been to far more games here than I have ever been there. So that's it, and it's hard. It is a split loyalties to a degree, but anyway, it just it sucks sometimes, but that's the way it is, and I embrace that, and I'm good with that, and I have certainly supported Texas Tech as much as I can. So I'm sorry I didn't go to school here. But
you should fix that.
There was a point in time where I really thought, this is even before we put Double T 97.3 on the air, when I had made that decision that I was going to be here in Lubbock for the rest of my life. I thought, maybe I'll go get a master's degree. I have a friend of mine who has a tech degree, undergrad degree, but his family had a legacy of being Aggies, and he went to A&M to get a postgraduate degree, get a master's degree, so that he could complete his legacy as being an Aggie. So anyway, but I never did that because I didn't want to go study that hard, Jamie. So I'm sorry.
I'm with you, man.
Just didn't want to do that.
I'm with you.
So Chuck's a T-shirt fan. Yeah, I guess I am. Collared shirt, but I wear T-shirts too. Can I be a T-shirt fan, Jamie?
You can be whatever you want, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Whatever you want to identify today as today, you do you, man.
You do you.
Yeah, you want to identify as a Jayhawk, no issues with that. And you want to identify as a Red Raider, no issues with that. Or anything else.
There's probably a little freak in
I
everybody.
have no complaints.
There's a little freak in everybody.
You want to have purple hair tomorrow?
No purple hair.
Rock the purple hair.
Nothing.
Just my only issue with that is if you have purple hair, don't be mad when people look at you and like stare at you and you're like, that's purple hair. Because you have purple hair. That's not normal.
You've been listening to the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3. For more from Lubbock Sports Station, go to doublet973.com.